So I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm also not going to show you any Lambos. I'm also not going to show you any fake screenshots either. Because I work inside Blue Guardian, and I'm going to show you the real math behind how a $50,000 prop firm account can actually become a full-time income. Because here's what most people don't understand. You don't need $1 million account. You don't need to be a trading genius. You just need 50K in funding and then the discipline to execute. And the reason I know this is because I see the data every single day. I see which traders are making 2K, 5K, even 10K a month. And I see which ones are blowing their accounts in like 48 hours. So let me break down exactly what works using real numbers from real traders. Okay, so here's the real math. So let's start with the math that changes everything, okay? So let's say you have a 50K account and then you risk 1% per trade. That's $500. So if you're using a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, that means for every $500 you risk, you can then make $1,000 when you win. So now let's say you have a 40% win rate, okay? That's kind of realistic and that's mostly achievable, all right? Then out of 10 trades, you can win 4, and let's say you lose 6 of those trades. So 4 wins multiplied by $1,000 means that you've made $4,000, and then 6 losses multiplied by $500, that means that you've lost $3,000. So you've now got a net profit of $1,000. So if you take 2 trades per day, that's 10 trades per week. Now, if you are joining the dots here, that means that you've made $1,000 in 1 week of trading. That's $4,000 per month. And if you multiply that by 12 months, that's $48,000 per year. All of that from a 50K account. But here's when it gets crazy. And that's when you look at the path of scaling. So once you prove you can make $4,000 per month on a 50K account, you can then scale to 100K with the same strategy, the same risk management, just bigger numbers, right? So if you think about it, at 100K, that's $8,000 per month. At 200K, that's $16,000 per month. Then if you've got 400K in funding, that is 32K per month. But this is all just numbers. There's nothing behind what I'm saying. It's just statistics. Okay, but I'm gonna let you know a little secret that I've discovered from going through 10,000 plus traders on the Blue Guardian platform. And that is that they all portray the same traits, whether they've got a 50K account, whether they've got a 400K account. And one thing that I've noticed is that the same skills that people are using on 50K accounts that are consistent traders across the board with smaller 50K accounts are the same skills that traders with 400K are exhibiting in their trading. The only difference is the zeros on their accounts. That's it. So if you can do it with a 50K account, a 400K account is a doddle. But let's have a look at the real strategy. What's the actual strategy of trading? So I basically just mark 2 key levels on the 5-minute chart, and then I wait for price to break one. Once price breaks one of these 2 levels, I wait for it to retest. Okay, and I enter with a 20 to 25 point stop loss, and I place a 1-to-2 risk reward on that trade. So I'm targeting anywhere between 40 and 50 points per trade. There's no fancy indicators involved, no complicated pattern. Now, one indicator that I do use is the 50 simple moving average. I use that to determine the trend. So if we are above the 50 simple moving average, I'm only going to look for buy trade signals. And if we are below the 50 simple moving average, I'm only looking for sells. Now, the time frames I use this strategy on is the 5-minute time frame, right? I don't really look too much at higher time frame confluences. I only sometimes look at the 4-hour time frame just to make sure that I'm not trading into higher time frame brick walls of price that could have the trade turn around on me prematurely. So just to summarize, all I'm looking for are 2 levels above and below price, and I'm looking for a breakout of one of those levels. I'm then looking for a retest of those levels, and then I only trade the first 45 minutes each day after New York Open, which is 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my entire trading window. Now, why do I trade this way? That's because this is when the volume is the highest. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time has the highest volume, which means that we're going to catch the cleanest moves. So if we are outside of that window, I'm not trading, right? I'm just living my life, because that is where the edge exists within my trade window. Now, I want to talk very quickly about how you can take advantage of trading prop firms. Okay, we've spoken about 50K prop accounts and how that's pretty much enough for you to start making decent money to make this worth your while. But there's an advantage to trading instant funding accounts. I've gone over 10,000 plus traders at Blue Guardian, and instant funding traders seem to do the best. They're really killing it right now, and that's according to the data that I have. Now, here's why instant funding really gives these traders an advantage. So most prop firms make you go through 2 or 3 evaluation phases, okay? And you need 10% in phase 1 and you need 5% in phase 2, okay? We have that as well at Blue Guardian, don't get me wrong. There's a place for that, but instant funding seems to be really doing great among our new traders. Now, you have to keep to quite a few rules in those phases for passing evaluations, and statistically 80% of traders fail by phase 2. Remember, a lot of these props want you to fail, and it's not like that at Blue Guardian. We want everybody to be successful that uses our platform. It needs to be a win-win for everybody. But remember, with instant funding, you can skip all of that. Okay, there's no evaluations. So you get 50K, 100K, or 200K immediately with no evaluations. There's no pressure. You just trade your strategy and then you get paid. And at Blue Guardian, remember, there's a 24-hour payout guarantee, which means that you are able to request that payout. And if you don't get it within 24 hours, you're going to receive 100% of the profit split instead of the 90%. That's how confident Blue Guardian is. Now, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. Trading is damn hard, right? You're gonna blow accounts. It's not easy. Most people can't get this right. You're going to have days where you question everything. Why did I even start trading? But here's what separates winners at trading from the pure gamblers. The winners show up every single day, even when it's hard, even when they're not seeing the results, because a 50K funded account can change your life, but only if you treat it with respect and you treat trading like a true business. Don't chase the luxury, chase consistency, chase discipline. Because when you master trading, you don't just master the markets, you master yourself. All right, so if you want to get funded with 50K or 100K instantly, there's a link in the description down below where you can get an account with Blue Guardian. And Blue Guardian is one of the most reliable prop firms out there with millions in verified payouts. It's honestly never been easier to become a funded trader and then turn this into a full-time career. Your 50K account is waiting, and you can get one with instant funding. And if this video helped you, smash the like button and subscribe for more real talk about prop firm trading just like this, no BS. All right, everyone, cheers, and I'll see you in the next video.